We have ICC-accredited lawyer Joel Butuyan joining us this morning. Magandang umaga po sa inyo. Welcome back to Morning Matters.
Good morning, Gretchen, and thanks for having me.
Okay, help us understand first this latest development, the proposal of a panel of medical experts to assess the former president's cognitive condition. Ano po ito? Dahil galing po ito sa OPCV, ito na po yung nagsisilbing prosecution from the victim's point of view. Iba po ba ito sa prosecution themselves?
Gretchen, there are actually several parties in the ongoing ICC proceedings against the former president. No, unang-una, the defense, representing Mr. Duterte, and then second, yung prosecution, which will handle the criminal aspect of the case. And then pangatlo, yung victims counsel, who represents the interest of the victims and who will convey the views and concerns of the victims. Ngayon, by way of background, what happened in this particular issue is that in August 8, the defense filed a request for indefinite adjournment. Kumbaga, gusto nilang matigil yung proceedings dahil sinasabi nila na hindi mentally fit si Mr. Duterte to stand trial. Sumagot yung OPCV, yung Victims Counsel, saka yung prosecutor. Sabi nila na base doon sa may ebidensya na present, yung mga experts supposedly na present ng defense, it's not clear, inconclusive na medically unfit si Mr. Duterte. Gayunpaman, pumayag sila na mag-appoint ng panel of medical experts, yung korte, para talagang ma-assess kung talagang ang mentally fit. So, makikita natin talagang sobrang fair yung proceedings na to dahil kahit na burden of proof ng defense at kahit na yung ebidensya ng defense ay hindi sufficient to show na medically unfit si Mr. Duterte, pumayag pa rin yung prosecution at yung Victims Counsel na yung court magpa-appoint ng panel of experts.
Correct. Oo. So, ito po ay argument po nila na tatlong expert, forensic psychiatry, neuropsychology, and behavioral neurology. Do you agree with those experts? And is this the same? Ano po yung parang pinagdedebatihan po dito ng defense at ng prosecution when it comes to these experts? Is it merely the choice of people but not the actual expertise?
Gretchen, kasi ang nangyari is yung order ng pre-trial chamber, medyo general, nagpa-submit sa registry, which is like the clerk of court sa atin, ng recommended experts together with their fields of expertise, and from this list of experts with medical expertise, pipili yung chamber, So, tatlo yung pinili na expertise ng registry, pero meron pang additional na mga pangalan kasi 11 yung pangalan na sinubmit ng registry, na iba-ibang expertise. Magkakaiba yung expertise nila. Merong neurology, merong forensic psychiatry, behavioral neurology, tapos meron pa yung geriatric medicine, So, nagkomento yung Victims Counsel na sinasabi niya na hindi na kailangan yung geriatric expert dahil meron naman talagang experts within the detention facility na nag-address dito sa may expertise sa need for geriatric care.
So, yung forensic psychiatry, if you take a look at the expertise of that, subspecialty po yan that applies to expertise to legal matters focusing on the intersection of mental health and the law. Yung pangalawa po ay neuropsychology. It studies the relationship between the brain, behavior, and cognition, examining how the nervous system impacts a person's thinking, emotion, and actions. At yung pangatlo, behavioral neurology, yan po ay subspecialty that studies how the brain damage and diseases affect behavior, memory, and cognitive functions. Agree po ba kayo dun sa tatlo? At wag na po isama yung gerontology?
So, Agree ako dun sa tatlo, Gretchen, kasi talagang yung issue dito is yung mental fitness niya, no? Kasi kung physical fitness, there can be modalities or adjustments that can be made. In fact, meron ng recommendation yung medical officer ng detention facility dun sa may gagawin nilang adjustments, no? To provide for the comfort and the convenience of Mr. Duterte even when he is required to attend the trial, no? So talaga ang question na lang is yung mental fitness niya, no? To really participate in the forthcoming confirmation hearing.
That's correct. So, pagdating po dito sa pating ito, ano po yung ino-oppose ng defense? Sabi po niya, Duterte's lawyers oppose the proposal calling for a forensic cross-examination and insisting that both sides be allowed to present their own medical experts. So, are they contesting ito pong experts na pinili po ng prosecution or yung choice po ng tao?
Hindi sila nagko-commit, no? Hindi sila approve dun sa mga recommendations ng registry, pati yung recommendations ng prosecutor, and they want to present their own experts.
Okay.
Yung nangyayari.
Oo. But how do we achieve, how do we make sure that there's impartiality in the choice of experts? Is this usual na it is the registry that is the one choosing the medical experts? At saan po sila kaya kukuha?
Yung ginagawa ng registry, Gretchen, is nagpo-provide sila ng listahan. No? Parang sa atin, parang yung JBC, yung Judicial Bar Council, na magpo-provide sila ng nominees. And out of these nominees, choice ng court to as to who to appoint, no? Parang yung sa JBC na nagpo-provide sila ng nominees for judges and then it's the president who appoints.
Okay.
Oo, parang ganun yung mangyari. And in fact, meron talagang list of experts sa ICC. So talagang pipili na lang talaga yung registry out of this list of experts.
Okay. And then added to that, speaking of the ICC registry, they said in an 8-page document dated September 30 that the medical officer cited by the defense does not possess the requisite of a detained person's fitness or to assess detained person's fitness to stand trial. So ano naman po yung debate dun po sa medical officer na sinight po ng defense?
Yung medical officer kasi, Gretchen, ito yung talagang nakatutok dun sa detention facility, no? So talagang they attend to the day-to-day medical needs and care of the detainees. Pero hindi sila experts, hindi sila forensic psychiatrists, hindi sila neuropsychologists. Kumbaga, they will not be in a position to testify kung fit nga si Duterte or not.
Okay, and according to the registry, this medical officer recommended several modalities regarding Duterte's presence in court, which were redacted in the court document. Would you have any idea as to what the recommendations those were?
Karen, I think this would only refer to the physical conveniences that are going to be adjusted, no, to address the age of Mr. Duterte as an 80 years old attending a trial, which could last for like the whole day, no? So, kumbaga yung physical comfort niya, kumbaga yung adjustments that are going to be provided and recommended by the medical officer.
But what options does the former president have? Could he attend these online just like how he did the first time, or is it a matter of like shortening the hours?
I would guess that those would be among the considerations, no? Pero talagang ang general rule is the accused has to attend the trial physically, the hearings physically, no? And only in extreme circumstances will he be allowed to participate remotely via online procedures.
Attorney, you represent some of the victims here. What have you heard about the former president's health? Siyempre, isa pong pinag-uusapan ng lahat ay yung ito nga pong nahulog daw ang dating presidente sa loob ng ICC detention center. What would you know about that?
Well, unang-una, Gretchen, ang dami talagang dismayado doon sa pagka-postpone ng hearing, no? Talagang they were really preparing. And in fact, some of the victims went to The Hague to really witness, no? The confirmation hearings, no? And marami rin talagang affected sa mga fake news that obviously are meant to appeal to emotion for the benefit of Mr. Duterte. So talagang naapektuhan rin yung mga biktima, no? Dahil ang dami-daming fake news talaga. And nakikita rin nila na talagang these are meant, no, to benefit Mr. Duterte.
You're right. There's a lot of confusion over the facts of the president's health, former president's health, and what's coming out, no? Kasi we have several people, including, for example, Attorney Nicholas Kaufman, that the Malacanang has said, no, has been already confused with his facts and has a tendency to twist the truth. So one of the things that he said was that Duterte was allegedly intimidated by an individual inside the ICC detention center, and he also stated now that he was not shown any written consent for the release of the facts of the former president's medical information. So, pagdating naman po doon, ano pong ninyo? Palagay po ninyo?
Alam mo, Gretchen, talagang issue talaga itong mga sobrang half-truths na minsan nanggagaling kay Mr. Kaufman. In fact, doon sa may issue ng yung pagsabi niya na pumayag ang Pilipinas, ng gobyerno ng Pilipinas to interim release, na previously sinabi niya rin na yung prosecutor pumayag, may nakikitang pattern, no, yung na talagang ginagamit niya itong ICC procedures, no, to sow disinformation and affect the victims' interest in the trial. Kaya nga nagkaroon ng malaking grupo ng mga NGOs who called for the imposition of disciplinary sanctions against Mr. Kaufman. Oo. Doon naman sa may sinabi niya na hindi nabigyan ng consent o hindi nagbigay ng consent si Mr. Duterte doon sa release ng kanyang medical records, no? Yung registry mismo, I think even from the redacted submissions, nagsabi na si Mr. Duterte nag-provide ng written consent, no, to the use and disclosure of his medical records in the detention facility. So hindi ko talaga alam kung saan nagagaling si Mr. Kaufman in saying na walang consent si Mr. Duterte.
And help us understand, no, the legal strategy of the defense here. Why are they taking this route? It is delaying everything from the confirmation of charges to the trial itself, where fitness to stand trial will apply. Bakit po kaya ganito? No? Kung sakasakali pong tama po kayo na yung facts are being bent here, what could be the legal strategy?
Alam mo, Gretchen, sa mga abogado, kung mahina sa merito yung kaso mo, ibabato mo lahat ng technicalities to really try to stop the case from proceeding to trial. And we cannot blame many of the victims and many of the human rights lawyers in believing that this is the strategy of the defense, no? That they're trying to throw every technical procedure, every perceived technical deficiency to try and stop the case from proceeding to trial. Dahil kapag nag-umpisa yung trial at lalabas lahat yung mga testigo at sasabihin nila lahat yung mga baho ni Mr. Duterte, ay talagang I think it will affect, no? It will affect the perception even of the DDS, no? Dahil marami sa mga DDS hindi nila alam kung gaano karumal-dumal yung pinagagawa ni Mr. Duterte at ng kanyang mga co-perpetrators during the drug war.
But is mental or cognitive impairment one of the possible reasons that an interim release could be granted? Kasi kung yun po, parang nakikita ko po na tumatagal lamang, hindi naman po makakalaya ang dating presidente doon sa detention center. So ito po ba ay posibleng maging dahilan ng kanyang pag-grant ng interim release niya?
Actually, Gretchen, dalawang issue, no? Yung inihain ng defense. Unang-una, they are requesting for the indefinite adjournment. Kumbaga, indefinite postponement ng kaso. Effectively, parang dismissal ng kaso, yung kanilang hinihingi dito sa issue ng mental fitness ni Mr. Duterte, no? Ang kanilang fallback, kung hindi nila makukuha itong indefinite adjournment, yung interim release, no? Na kung sakaling sasabihin na mentally fit si Mr. Duterte, ang fallback nila is, o sige, i-interim release natin siya para makalabas siya and merong mag-aalaga sa kanya sa labas.
And when it comes to the indefinite adjournment, I mean, meron na po ba tayong precedents on this? How has the ICC trial chamber decided on cases where the accused has cognitive impairment?
Merong isang kaso that was cited by the Public Counsel for Victims. The name escapes me right now. Pero binigyan ng indefinite adjournment only after several tries, no? Kumbaga, it lingered nung una, dininay, tapos pangalawa, dininay din, on a third attempt, saka grinant, no? So it spanned, I think, a period of time bago grinant, no? And Gretchen, itong indefinite adjournment, hindi ito final, no? Dahil every 6 months, every 12 months, no? Ina-assess ulit, no? Kung it still lingers at kung sa tingin nila ay mentally fit na, pwedeng i-resume yung trial.
Pero hindi po makakalaya yung accused?
Kapag hindi permanent yung finding na talagang permanently unfit siya, hindi siya makakalaya, Gretchen.
So in effect, wala pong dismissal na mangyayari dito. It's just more of like lengthening the time before justice could be served.
That's correct, Gretchen. Unless talaga na sasabihin ng mga panel of experts na talagang wala nang pag-asa and talagang permanently medical unfit talaga itong accused.
And the way things are going, it seems they're trying to make the conditions for the former president at least livable and at least pleasant, no? So mukhang ganun po ang pinupuntahan nito. But we'll wait as we always do. In the meantime, thank you so much for helping us understand the latest coming out from the ICC and The Hague. Thank you for your time and insight. We have ICC-accredited lawyer Joel Butuyan representing the victims, of course.
Thank you, guys.